Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Nurhazwani binti Muhammad Hashim. I am from SR245 5B. So today I'm going to explain about individual assignment SRT605 for data set 1 cholesterol. ICMA want to identify any significant difference in mean of cholesterol level between group A and group B. Question first. What is the suitable statistical analysis for the objective question? Briefly explain the solution. So for the solution is independent variable group A and group B. For the dependent variable cholesterol level and observation, independent sample will using independent t-test and distribution of data, test normality using Kolmogorov-Smirnov and Shapiro-Wilk. For the question number 2, what are the assumptions of the statistical analysis? Assumption is cholesterol level dependent variable is a numerical data and we're using a random sample. Two samples are independent of each other, which is group A and group B independent observation. The question number 3 is you need to explain how to check the normality using SPSS and explain the output. So now we open SPSS and then we go to the variable view. Name we're gonna put group underscore cholesterol, and the second one is level underscore cholesterol. For the decimal we're gonna put 0, and for the level we're gonna put 1, and then we slide to value we're gonna put value 1, label group group 1, and A add. And for the value number 2 level we're gonna put group B and add. Bodoh So now we open the SPSS and variable view. First we put group underscore cholesterol, and the second one is level underscore cholesterol. And for the decimal, for the group cholesterol will be 0 and level cholesterol will be 1. For the value, we're gonna put value 1 is for group A at, and second one is value 2. We're gonna put label group B and add. So okay, and then we proceed to the measure. Both of them will be scale and then scale, and we go for the data view, and we're gonna insert all the data for the first group 1 until number 11, and then for the 12 2 until 20 group 2. Then proceed 6 6.4 7 5.8 6 5.8 5.9 6.7 6.1 6.5 6.3 5.8 6.4 5.4, 5.6, 5, 5.5, 6, and 6.1. And then we go for the analyze and descriptive statistic. We're gonna choose explore, and for the group cholesterol we're gonna put at the factor list, and level cholesterol we're gonna put at dependent list. And for the statistic, the confidence interval for mean we have to put 95% and continue. And the plots, we're going to choose histogram and normality plot with test. Continue. And for the option and bootstrap, we just ignore it and okay. And then we have to make big and scroll. So the test of normality is we're gonna choose Shapiro-Wilk because the sample size not more than 50, and p-value Shapiro-Wilk for group A is 0.332, which is more than 0.05, not significant, which is normal. And for the group B, 0.893, more than 0.05 is not significant, which is normal. And then for the histogram, okay, for the graph histogram, which is from graphically, both graphs show normal distribution, so assumption is met. Distribution is normal, therefore the appropriate method used is independent t-test. So for the last one, we're gonna state the hypothesis. There is no significance in mean of cholesterol level between group A and group B, and there is significant in mean of cholesterol level between group A and group B. Okay, so now we're gonna proceed to the independent t-test. We're gonna go to the SPSS, this one, and then analyze, variable view, data view, and then go for the analyze and compare mean for the independent sample t-test. So for the group cholesterol will be at grouping variable and level cholesterol will be at test variable. So option and bootstrap we're gonna ignore and continue. And then define group. Group 1 will be 1. Group 2 will be 2. So continue and then okay. So we to the independent t-test group statistic. So the conclusion is there is significant in mean of cholesterol level between group A and group B. Group A mean is 6.227 and standard deviation is 0.3901, reported have significantly higher cholesterol level than group B, which is mean 5.533, and for the standard deviation is 0.6144. Okay, so we proceed to the data set 2 underscore scar. Iskandar want to compare the change of scar area of the burn patient before and after treatment. Measurements are taken 1 day before and 1 week after treatment. For the question number 1 is, what is the suitable statistical analysis for the objective question? Briefly explain the solution. The solution is dependent variable scar area of burn patient, and independent variable measurement before and after treatment. For the observation, dependent sample, which is using a pair t-test, and distribution of data will using test normality will using Kolmogorov-Smirnov and Shapiro-Wilk. So for the for the second question, what are the assumption of the statistical analysis? Assumption of the statistical analysis: the observation differences between before and after are normally distributed. And for the question number 3, you need to explain how to check the normality using SPSS and explain the output. So we open the SPSS, and for the variable view, okay, for the first we're gonna put before treatment, and for the second, before underscore treatment, and the second one is after underscore treatment. For decimal, both of them will be using 2, and then measure we put scale for both of them. And then we proceed to the data view, which is we're gonna proceed to the data view. We're gonna put all the data. First, for the before treatment, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5.5, 5, 3, 5, 6, 4, 8, 7.5, 6, 3, 2, 7, 7, 6, 4.5, and 4. For the after treatment, 4, 5.5, 3.5, 7, 4.5, 4, 2, 4.5, 4, 3, 6, 5.5, 4, 2, 1, 5.5, 4.5, 4.5, 3, and 3. Okay, and then we're gonna proceed to the transform, and then we're gonna compute variable, and then target variable we're gonna put. For the target variable, we're gonna put differences, and this before treatment we're gonna put here, and then minus to the after treatment here, and then okay. So we're gonna spend, okay. This is for the differences between before and after treatment. And then we go for the analyze and descriptive statistic, explore, and before treatment differences we're gonna put to the dependent list, and statistic, and confidence interval forming, which is we have to put 95% continue, and then plots histogram and normality plot with test continue. And then option and bootstrap, we just ignore it and just okay. And then we're gonna go for the test of normality, which is the answer is will 0.133 we choose Shapiro week because the sample size is not more than 50. Since the p-value for differences equal to 0.133, many than 0.05, the data is normally distributed. Therefore, the appropriate method used is pair t-test. Okay, now we're gonna state the hypothesis. HO, there is no change or scar area of the burn patient before and after treatment. And for the H1, there is change of scar area of the burn patient before and the after treatment. And then we're gonna proceed to the pair t-test. Then we're gonna go to the analyze and compare mean, and then pair sample t-test. And then for the before treatment, we're gonna put at the variable 1, treatment, variable 1, and the after treatment, variable 2. And then option and bootstrap, we just ignore it, and OK. And then we're gonna look for the t-test. So here is the pair sample statistic. Okay, as you can see the result, there is change of scar area of the burn patient before and after treatment. We can conclude that the treatment can reduce the mean scar area of the patient. So that's all from me. Hope you understand with my explanation. Thank you. Bye.